Hello there, my name's Sergio Torres, and this is a story about always doing the right thing regardless of the situation. Now, as many of you don't know, I actually work at a all-you-can-eat buffet called Sweet Tomatoes. It's a salad, soup, and pasta buffet, and I'm a cashier there. And so what we do as a company is weekly, from Monday through Friday, from specifically 2 to 5 p.m., we have this thing called the senior special, and it's this deal that's like $8.29 including a beverage, which is really good compared to our normal hour prices. So one day I come into work, and it's around like 5:45 around there, and a family comes in. It's two adults, and I'm assuming it's two of their kids. And I talk to what seems to be the father of the family. I say, "Hi, how we doing?" He's like, "Good." And I'm like, "How many we having?" And so he tells me that it's going to be two seniors and two regular adults. And I was like, all right, perfect. So I charge them the amount. I tell him the total. And he was like, why is it so expensive? I thought you guys are doing the senior special. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. Unfortunately, the senior special ended at 5 o'clock. And it was currently at that moment 5:45. And so the conversation quickly went south with him not being too happy with me, seeing that I couldn't really give him the deal, but unfortunately I just couldn't. The time had passed and we weren't allowed to give out the discount anymore. So he goes away, comes back, and he comes back and says, why do you guys advertise it like this? I came here specifically for the senior special. And I simply said, sir, unfortunately we can't give you the deal. Would you like to talk to a manager? And so he says yes, and I bring the manager over, and he gives her the same spiel that I got, saying that we should advertise better, and he cannot believe that we're not allowing him to have the deal. And so he goes away, goes back to his family, eats, and later on my manager comes and brings him a few free meals for the inconvenience. And so they go, and I thought that was it. But a few weeks later, actually I believe like that next week, a week after the incident, my manager comes up to me and says, hey, Sergio, can I have a word with you? And I was like, sure. So I go into the office, and she sits me down. She's like, so we got a survey from the gentleman that was a week ago that had that incident. I was like, okay. And obviously I knew it wasn't going to be good. But this man outright lied about every single thing that occurred that day. He had said that I had treated them very poorly. I was very rude to them. I had even raised my voice and said a few curse words. And I was like, no, that definitely was not me. So corporate had gotten a hold of it and said that we needed to handle it better, that I myself needed to handle it better. And overall, we just didn't do a very good job. And so a few more days pass, and the director of operations for our company comes in, and he says, hey, your name's Sergio, right? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, hi, I'm Dave. And I had only met Dave a few times, but he wanted to reintroduce himself. And so I was like, hello, Dave. And so he asked for a word as well, and so I went and sat down with him, and he's like, look, we heard about the situation, and we actually wanted to say you actually did a very good job of handling it. And I was like, really? Wow, I was shocked. And so he's like, yeah, we're glad you kept your cool. You were very respectful, we heard, and so we're very glad with how you handled it. And then they asked me about my prior work experience, and I had told them about it. And they were just glad that I had been in situations before that I knew how to handle it, and I didn't really get out of line or anything. I just kept my cool and just remained respectful in all cases. And so he had told me after our little conversation, he has said, if you keep up the good work, we've been hearing you've been doing a great job. And if you keep it up, you're going to have a very bright future in this company and maybe even move up somewhere down the line. And I was like, wow, thank you. And so that made my week, and I was very, very ecstatic to hear that my work was going not necessarily unnoticed, but it was being noticed, and I'm glad that somebody thought I was doing a great job. And so that's pretty much my story. That's the story about always trying to do the right thing regardless if somebody is treating you bad. Always treat them with respect. And thank you guys for listening, and I hope you all have a great day.